Hello, my beloved Cancer friends. This is Molly with Soul School Tarot and Astrology, and I'm here with you guys today for your new moon in Aries reading covering the period from March 24th until April 6th. I am a little late getting these out to you guys. It's March 24th right now, so happy new moon in Aries to you all. I have 5 readings to get out today, so wish me the best of luck. Like most of you, I've been doing my best to kind of just like adjust to and cope with this weird new quote-unquote normal that we've been handed. I think everything is still unfolding and developing. Today is the first day of a stay-at-home order in my town. Some of you guys may know that I'm a school teacher. Those schools have been closed for the rest of the year, so we're transitioning to online teaching. There's just so many things going on. All right, so I do have an interactive a pick-a-pile reading that I made for you guys just for coping with all of these sudden changes. I made it last week. I hope it's not out of date. So check that out. If there's actually some really interesting messages that came through there. I also went ahead and made, ahead of my new moon in Aries readings, I went ahead and I made a pick-a-pile for love, because on these readings, I really want to focus on finding your bearings and doing what you can. Cancer is a cardinal sign. All right. Aries is a cardinal sign. These are the people who start things. They create new beginnings. All right. So we're in this weird space where things are ending, things are changing, things are emerging anew. And I really want all of my collective to feel like they have the power to grab the pen and start writing what our new normal is going to look like. All right, so I am seeking out messages of comfort, clarity, hope, healing, as well as empowerment today. If this is your first time on my channel, you guys, welcome. I'm so glad you're here. If you've come back, welcome back. I'm just really glad to have, you know, this small and humble community online that I can relate to at these times. So thank you very much for being a part of my collective. Lots of water on deck for your reading today, Cancers. Just because I always get thirsty when I'm reading for you guys. That means, of course, that the intuition is flowing. So let's go ahead and get into this. I did say, I think this is for my Cancer, Sun, Moon, and Rising signs. Check out the astro forecasts that go along with this new moon in Aries, as well as the last 2 that I've put out. If you are interested in what's going on with our interpersonal planets, Venus and Mars during this time. And then in the astro forecast for the new moon in Aries, I do kind of talk about some of the more significant planetary aspects that can kind of help to inform what it is that we're going through at this time. So if it's something you're interested in, check those out. Otherwise, let's go ahead and get into this. I'm actually doing an oracle and tarot reading for you guys today that is based off of the Oracle of Dr. John Dee. Now, I found this online. It's a nice little, you know, nice little oracle deck, and it's got a layout in the book that goes down like this. We start out by looking at what is your center, how do you find harmony. I am going to be using the Vintage Wisdom Oracle for that center. All right, then we're going to be looking at the 4 cardinal directions that look at 4 different areas of your life. So in the north, we have work and influences. In the east, health and well-being. In the south, intention and directions. And then in the west, we're going to look at love and inspiration. I'm going to be going to the book because here's the thing, you guys. Each of these cards has a different meaning depending on what part of your life it is referring to. So it's going to pose us with a question that we're going to delve a little more deeply into with tarot. And then we're going to end today's reading by looking at how you can be taking care of yourself at this time. What kind of self-care is really needed? So, pardon me real quick, guys. Okay, so here's the deal, you guys. I'm feeling a ton of anxiety, and I know it's not me feeling anxiety about the reading. I know it's part of the reading. Okay, so that's what I'm picking up. It's just kind of your anxieties and your fears. I haven't looked at it yet, but you guys, if you are interested, check out Molly McCord. She has a video about fourth house, which is Cancer energy, about being in the home. It's about self-care. It's just about really focusing your energies in that direction at this time. I talked to one of my Cancer friends today. Of all my friends, she's the most Cancer. And I checked in on her today and she's like, God, Molly, is so great to not have to deal with my social anxiety right now, not have to be around everybody. But at the same time, the general environment, the general climate, the world is in anxiety right now, okay? That's something that I think a lot of my very empathic Cancers are picking up on at this time. So I want to encourage you to do what I did just a moment ago. Pause, take a deep breath, root yourself to the earth, do whatever you can to ground yourself and center yourself before moving forward, okay? So there we are. We're already getting into the message. Let's go ahead. My guides have been doing that a lot lately, you guys, giving me physical messages through symptoms and things. I'm getting used to it. Let's start off with your reading already. Okay, we're 6 minutes in. I'm going to start by looking at where can you find your center at this time? Where can you find harmony within? Thank you so much, Divine Spirits of Love and Light, Archangels, Ancestors, Allies, and Guides, both mine and those of the collective, for all of the protection and guidance you offer us on a daily basis, for the ability for me to deliver these messages, and then of course for the messages that you allow me to deliver today to our Cancer collectives. Ooh, you guys, who else got a reading like this? Libra. Libra got a reading about doing some shadow work, all right? Here's the card that I got for you guys, Shadow Self, all right? Now, let me talk to you about Shadow Self. Some people, Shadow Self is devil energy, but listen, let's drop the moral judgments, okay? A lot of people think of Shadow Self energy, devil energy as like, you know, like eschewing the rules of society, breaking the rules, like it is associated with a lack of self-love and therefore certain types of self-abuse like drug use, promiscuity, alcoholism, things like that, okay? All of those things do root from the shadow self. But just because you have a shadow self and some shadow work to do doesn't mean that you are aligning yourself with those quote-unquote morally questionable activities, all right? So please follow with me when I talk about what the devil energy is all about. There's a place inside all of us that is full of hope. It is our star. Okay, it is our inner star. It is our inner compass. It is faith. It is hope. It is love that shines within all of us. But at times like this, that star can feel really, really dim. And what happens when we dim our star is we get more and more shadow within. All right. So this shadow part of ourself is this part of self that lacks self-love, that lacks faith, that lacks hope. All right. So don't be mad at yourself if you're getting a little hello from your shadow self right now, okay? Because honestly, having all of our daily interactions cleared from our plate, which by the way is not true for a lot of you guys out there, healthcare workers, grocery store workers, essential employees, thank you so much for everything you're doing. And I am just honestly beside myself that you've chosen to spend your free time with me. Thank you. And I love you. I'm thinking of you guys every day. I'm gonna make signs to put in my window, all that stuff, okay? But for most of us, our trivial daily interactions have been removed from our plate, and therefore what we're left with is that deeper part of ourselves, all right? And Cancer's not the type to really hide from that so much because it can be so all-encompassing once we really get into our emotions. But here's the thing, negative emotions come from negative thoughts, so please remember that connection. All right, so there's this gateway that she wants to pass through, all right? And you see the waters are very calm over here. This is a calm emotional state. This is self-acceptance. This is self-love. This is the passageway to hope and faith, all right? And that little star that shines within. It's out there somewhere, okay? But she's on the other side of this doorway. And she is getting some message from spirit right now. All right. She's listening to her intuition. But here's the thing. When the moon is at a crescent like that, to me, it signifies that your intuition is harder to connect with. Like, you really got to go within to get that stuff right now. Okay. A big full moon is more of the knowing. This is like you need to get back into your subconscious kind of stuff. All right. Because that's where the shadow self resides. All right. It's constructed essentially of patterns and narratives that we've been handed throughout life that might have served us at the time, but once we are ready to move forward in life, we got passed through doorways and stuff like that, we can't take all that baggage with us. Okay, so there comes a time when you got to stop and check in with yourself. The reading I did from Libras, for Libras, their shadow self is about asking for help. That's what shadow work they have been prescribed, if you will, by spirit for this period. So if that sounds like something that could be helpful for you guys, go check out the Libra video. All right. So I'm calling upon each of the archangels that are associated with these 4 cardinal directions. All right. So once again, this is the John D. Oracle. I like to call it the Dead White Guy Oracle because it's really Francis Drake. Okay. So it's a bunch of sort of medieval and Renaissance academics. John Dee himself was an absolute Renaissance man, but he was the court astrologer to Queen Elizabeth, who's like my absolute favorite historical figure ever. So let's go ahead and get into this. I'm calling upon Archangel Uriel to receive a message to guide us through this reading regarding work and external influences for our Cancer, Sun, Moon, and Rising signs. Thank you, Archangel Uriel, for being here with us today. There he goes. Nicholas Flamel. You guys, every time I hear that name, I think he's like a Harry Potter character, but I'm wrong about that. It's an actual historical figure. He's the alchemist. All right. So there are 8 archetypes in this deck. The alchemist is all about transformation. We're calling now upon Archangel Raphael. Did you see him throw that at us? There we go, Francis Drake, the silver geographer. Geographers talk about journeys. So we're going to be talking about journeys in the area of health and well-being. Next, we're turning to Archangel Michael in the Tower of the South. This is all about intentions and directions. So how are you going to move yourself forward? Either through or after this whole shadow self thing. There's John Dee, another gold geographer. So geographer, again, this is a little bit of a journey that you guys are being invited to go on. A journey of self, a journey within. Yeah, that's the best part. You don't even have to deal with anybody else. It's just about you, Cancers. We might see if anybody else shows up in the clarifying cards. But so far, I think this is all about a solo mission, all right? Calling upon Archangel Gabriel for guidance in the area of love and inspiration. I'm going to take that first one that came out. But here's what I feel. This is the floodgates, and they just all wanted to, like, you know what I mean? When one little emotion comes out, and then you can't really hold back the rest. All right? So there's something about that for you guys. Okay? I was having this conversation, and I feel like this is something that could really be helpful for you guys. I was having this conversation last night with friends of mine, one particular friend. See, look. 4 of Swords. This is the energy we're in. By the way, we'll be clarifying today with the Game of Thrones Tarot. We've been given the orders to stay inside, most of us, all right? And a lot of us have chosen just to take that time to rest up. We're doing our best to cope and keep our shit together. So a friend of mine commented, she saw this post on Facebook that was like, if you're not leveling up, you need to get it together. And I was like, yo, you know what? I'm leveling up my not crying in the shower game. All right. So if that's all that you are actually able to level up at this point in time, kudos to you, Cancer. I am here with you. We are all in this together. I'm like High School Musical theme song in my head right now. I've got like choreography going through my mind. All right. Let's go to the book. We're going to look at this green alchemist, Nicholas Flamel. And when he falls into the position of the North, he's talking about work and influences, of course. Here is his message. Well, yeah, we're all going through this, you guys. You may need to transform your life and work at any time. Be ready for this if necessary. Sometimes as we move through life, we reach turning points that necessitate letting go of old, worn out conditions and directions. That's what shadow work is about, essentially. Letting go of old, worn out conditions and directions. If challenges occur that suggest a need for change, kind of like being on lockdown, be prepared to be fluid rather than digging in your heels. So it's about not resisting the changes that are coming towards you from the quadrant of work and external influences at this time. So, like I said, each card poses a question. So, Archangel Uriel asks, how do you react to opposition in your life? So, what is it that you might be putting up a little bit of resistance to at this time, Cancers? That's what we're going to clarify with our Game of Thrones Tarot. Six of Cups reversed. This is, and the Four of Swords is still there, all right? So you guys, when the Six of Cups reversed comes up, you're thinking about something from the past. Maybe you're longing for it. Maybe you're like, dang, I never want to go back to that. But whenever we begin that connection between now and, let's say, a relationship in our recent past, okay? There's also a connection between that relationship and something that happened to you in your childhood, okay? All right? Follow me here, because that's what the Six of Pentacles reversed is about to me. A lot of times, that card in the Page of Cups reversed have to do with the inner child needing healed at this time, and that's a lot of what shadow work is all about. So if your shadow self, if there's this part of you that is throwing up this resistance and you don't really understand what it's all about, there's some inner child work at play, okay? Something about your inner child is throwing a temper tantrum right now. And your adult brain may not understand what or why or how. But I really feel with a lot of you guys, there's some stuff being triggered. So it might require that you really stop. Do journaling through all of this, you guys. Otherwise, you can just run your brain through the whole process of doing this shadow work. Getting it out on paper really helps me to feel like I'm getting it out. Like I'm writing this down. This is my debrief. I understand this part of my subconscious, and I'm presenting a counter argument to my subconscious and saying that we should proceed as such. I got coffee on the table too, so I hope this is making sense to you guys. I've got the sun, and that makes me feel like I'm kind of doing a good job trying to explain this energy that I'm feeling right now, okay? So, how are you dealing with, what's the question? How do you react to opposition in your life? So, Cancer would really just like to float along in the stream. Just let things happen. Leave me alone. Go away. Really? Kind of, sort of. Okay? That's this energy that we've got right now. Okay? But then something comes along and opposes you just being in your own place. Alright? So, how do you react to opposition in your life? By going within. By going within. By going within. Okay? We have this inner child showed up again. But this one is upright, so I feel a lot better about it, okay? So how do you react to opposition? High Priestess is so withdrawn. She goes into her space. Also, you guys, do you know that the High Priestess is associated with the moon? And the moon is the ruler of Cancer. All right. So this card right here is about being withdrawn, going into your intuition, going into your inner space, your moon space. Now listen, if anybody in the world can relate to my concept of what it is to have a moon space, it's a Cancer. All right. It's this space. It's this extra sense that you have that picks up everybody's emotions, right? Because it's very empathic. That also is just very, very sensitive to energetic changes and also to psychic messages. All right? So it's a highly intuitive, emotional, empathic space. When you get opposition in your life, you pretty much you draw within. Okay, you don't just shut out what's out there, but what you do is you take all of your energy and you put it within. What's going on inside of me now? Okay, this Four of Swords is all about rest and relaxation. And there's nothing wrong with that, because what that does, it lets you get back into what I like to call this. I'm actually going to put these over here. When this is upright, is your sweet space. It's like a childlike sweetness that exists within you. And when you walk around with a great big old moon space, your moon space wants to be in that state of innocence, of clarity, of just happiness, innocence, and love. Okay? So this Six of Cups, there may actually be activities like for some of you guys, like let's say you like to color, you like to knit, you like to play video games. Whatever you do links back to a way that you created happiness as a child. Okay? Because there's just a great big link throughout this whole thing between your current self and your inner child self, because I think they want to talk at this time. All right? So the geographer, pardon me, is like I said, the geographers are all about journeys. This one, Sir Francis Drake, he discovered, wait, did he discover? Nope, that was Sir Walter Raleigh. Anyways, he led the Spanish Armada. I know he did that. He's showing up in the area of health and well-being, and like I said, there's a different message. It depends on where he is. So in the East, here's what he says. There are times when strength may fail you, when even to put one foot in front of the other may become difficult. My Lord, are we not in these times? This can be a health issue or something deeper. It can be the cause of depression or simply lethargy. Fight against this with every fiber of your being. Don't confuse this experience with simple exhaustion or the need for rest. This is not a normal, I'm overwhelmed and I need to withdraw and rest, because Cancers feel that a lot. That's how you typically would deal with opposition. This card is saying, wait a second. Let's get through the message. Don't confuse this experience with simple exhaustion or the need for rest. Remain awake to the options offered to you. Seek progress by easy stages and never let your chances slip away through lack of concentration and energy. So here Archangel Raphael asks, why are you feeling exhausted? Okay? Because a lot of times it comes from just dealing with other people. I feel like you're starting to feel exhausted in some aspect of the inner work that you're doing right now. Listen to this though. Remain awake to the options offered to you. Seek progress by easy stages and never let your chances slip away through a lack of concentration and energy. Energy is what Aries is all about. Okay, we just had an astrological new year. The sun moved into Aries. And so really we're looking at energies, the opportunity to start new things that are going to carry us through the course of the next year. So there's a lot of instability right now, a lot of opposition, a lot of change. The phrase that I had for Scorpios is actually from Game of Thrones. Chaos is a ladder. So for some of us, what's really happening is that this chaos is essentially clearing the space for us to make decisions that are going to lead to a happier life on the other side of this. All right? So some of us are being thrust into the darkness right now to do this inner work. All right? But the main thing is you're feeling exhausted. And I'm going to the Game of Thrones Tarot again. Whoa. You guys, this is a feeling of just, I can't even handle these cards today. So the message that Spirit is giving me is you guys are feeling very, very overwhelmed. And I want to say it's by your thoughts and emotions at this time. Not even your interactions with other people. Okay? Thank you, Spirit, so much for that message. Can I get 3 cards to help clarify? That's what the feeling of exhaustion is. Can we talk about why? Why this exhaustion that our Cancers are feeling right now? What's going on here? Oh, it's about not letting something go. Judgment card is on the bottom of the deck. which means it's time. That's the universe coming and saying, hey, inner child, I gotta get your blankie. You gotta give the blankie up. We gotta take the blankie and we gotta go. All right? And I'm not demeaning this process by any way, shape, or form. I'm just like very skilled at having these conversations with my inner child. All right? So your inner child is holding on to a blankie, a source of comfort that it probably needs to let go of. And here's the thing. I don't think it's an object. I think it's a particular way of thinking and doing things that takes you back to your childhood. Because when we're children, we're confronted with all of these crazy situations that we cannot control. So we go within in order to create order within. And I feel like you Cancers have gotten really skilled at going into your moon space and organizing everything when something from the outside world mucks it up. But right now, I think the source of your moon space being all mucked up is actually coming from within. The phone call is coming from within the house. All right. So this Page of Spears is this lethargy. All right. You're holding on very, 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 very tight to something that wants to be let go. That the universe is saying, please let this go. Please let this go. Because it's a fear of change. All right. Death card is about natural processes, things that they've done their time. You've got to let them go. It's no longer serving you. But this Four of Coins, okay, you guys, my favorite tarot meme, because you usually see this guy grasping these 4 coins. Somebody photoshopped the coins to where they're rolls of toilet paper, right? Holding on tight to your resources. When this is upright, you're holding on too tight. But what you're holding on to, like I said, is an old habit. It's a pattern of thinking. It's something in your subconscious. And that's what this shadow work is asking you to do. This is a card of shadow work. Something within needs to be released. And we've got to go in and shine the light around and figure out what that is. All right, my loves? I am here with you for all of this, okay? Gold Geographer is our next one. This one's talking about intention and direction. This is John D. Geographer, once again, like I said before, is all about a journey. So when he shows up in the South, here is his message. You guys, I told you. I told you. I love you guys. Do you want to go get some ice cream before we continue? You can do that. You can go get some ice cream and eat on it. Because our messages are not getting any lighter. And they're not getting scarier either. They're just getting more real. Okay? Go get yourself some ice cream. I'll wait. All right? Okay. Sometimes it's necessary to visit the darker corners of your life to better understand how you can find new direction and intent. Try to be honest with yourself as well as those around you, and don't run away from responsibility. Remember that when dark times are present, they cannot last forever. And beyond, you guys, are fresh waters and calmer seas. Do you understand that? All these cards are talking about the same message. This is beautiful. You guys, I might just use this format forever now because these messages coming out are amazing. And look at what's in this doorway. See that spider web? Yes. That's something old that needs to be cleaned out before you can pass through. That's why she's like, I'm not going through that doorway. There's a spider web right there. But you have the power to clear that spider web away. Walking in the spider webs. I'm so musical today with this, you guys. All right, we got Gwen Stefani in my brain right now. All right, so Archangel Michael is asking us, how are you best able to face your deepest fears? All right, you guys, I am so glad that we're doing this reading today, because if it's resonating with you, here's what this means. All right, let's say you're on lockdown for the next 4 weeks. Bet. Do your shadow work. Do your shadow work. And when you come out and you begin to carve your path through the new normal, whatever new world is going to exist after this, you can do it without this baggage. This is a whole brand new you. Honestly, you guys, I'm gonna be real. The universe is good. When it comes to timing things, there's a lot of people, trust me, been doing all these readings. A lot of us are being asked to go within, do the work, recalibrate, shift our perspectives. That's what we have to do when the whole world around us begins to change. So you guys are going to get a really long reading. I hope that you have not been annoyed by how long I'm taking, but I'm just, you gotta let the spirit flow through. Okay. How are you best able to face your deepest fears? First of all, taking down defenses, because that's what the Seven of Spears is all about. The Seven of Fears. Did you hear me say that? And then I'm actually going to look at the picture and show you what I see. The Tower reversed and the Nine of Coins. This Tower reversed. Ooh, here's the Queen of Cups, guys. This is you, Cancers. And the message that for me always comes with the Queen of Cups is being able to hold space for your own emotions and the emotions of others, but in this case, your own emotions in a very non-judgmental way. All right. So, the Tower is this dramatic thing that comes in, smacks you on the side of the head to change your perspective about something. The universe is trying to do that in a gentler way. But just be willing to have like your foundational beliefs challenged and shifted at this time. Because what happens is you've gone through life building this tower that it has been constructed upon an unsteady foundation, because it was a foundation that was handed to you in your childhood. You're grown up now and you know better ways to cope and deal, right? So this is asking you for a shift in perspective. And when it comes up like this, the universe is saying, look, man, if you do the work, I don't have to come smack you on the head. If you do the work, I don't have to get involved. That's what the divine is saying right now. That's how I interpret this, okay? But this guy, do you see how he's leaping? All right? After, he just wants to move forward, man. And all those spears that are thrust up at him are his oppositions, right? How do you typically deal with oppositions? You go within. Well, but wait, what? What if the opposition is coming from within? These are invaders from inside the castle. The phone call is coming from inside the house. All right? This Nine of Coins is you feeling good. Feeling on your own 2 feet. Okay? This is somebody who has put themselves, you guys, here's what Cancers, here's my advice for Cancers, all right? This is the home. This garden is the home. Clean your home. Make sure you got all your favorite food on hand. Before you sit down and do your shadow work, make sure that all of your external needs, to the best of your ability, have been met. That way they don't cause you any anxiety or distractions when you go in to do the shadow work. Like clean your house, make it tidy, feed your belly, take a nice bath, burn some incense, get your silk jammies on, and pull out your journal. Okay? This is saying take really good care of yourself. Give yourself the physical necessities and luxuries that you desire while you go within and begin to pull down defenses and look for another way to view things at this time. All right, you guys, it's not easy work, but it's how we grow. The Gold Physician. What is the Physician? This is Hippocrates. Don't be such a Hippocrates. Just kidding. That's not what it means. He's not a hypocrite. He's actually the guy who came up with the Hippocratic Oath, which, by the way, thank you again, healthcare workers around the world. All right. The the Hippocratic Oath is basically it's just do no harm. The Physician's all about well-being. Okay. So in the West, this is love and inspiration. So let's see what Hippocrates has to say to us about love and inspiration at this time. Whenever the moment you are in tells you, whatever the moment you're in tells you, look beyond it to observe the bigger picture. If you feel doubtful or crestfallen, remember the times you felt strong and positive. Whenever a good moment comes, explore every aspect of it until you know it thoroughly, so that you can recall it during times of fear or when your resolution fails you. You guys, full circle, because that's what I was trying to get across with this, that I couldn't. Remember how when you face opposition, this is a skill you've probably had since you were a child. When there's drama or conflict around you, you guys withdraw and you create your own happy space within. Hippocrates showed up today to say, hey, get to know this space very, very well. Very, very, very well. So that you can just call it up anytime your shadow work gets a little scary. All right? Nobody can lose against shadow work. I hope you understand it. Okay? If you're afraid of facing your fears, the worst case scenario is you will continue to live your life exactly as you have. If that's scary, then yes, you can face your shadow work. That's not scary, you guys. You got this. You got this. I believe in you. I love you all. All right? So, Archangel Gabriel asked, what was the last high point in your life? Okay? So, what we're looking at now is, when was the last time that you felt like you weren't jumping at spears? All right? So, let's see if we can't help you connect to a moment in your recent past that is going to help serve as an updated happy space for you guys. That is how I feel Spirit is guiding me right now. So let's do our very best. Thank you, Divine Spirits of Love and Light. Let's get 3 cards on this if we can. And then, you guys, I'm going to go into my self-care cards and see what kind of love you can give yourselves at this time. The Hermit and the Hanged Man. Yo, yo, yo. These are just good vibes to have in this moment. Wait a second and we'll connect it to the past. And the Knight of Cups. You guys, the Magician is at the bottom, okay? Please understand what Magician energy is all about. Remember at the beginning when I said you guys are a cardinal sign? You guys are good at starting things, getting things on their feet, on the ground and running. That's what the Magician is about. He's about creating something new. And that's the opportunity that you have been given. Okay, but also that's the guy who said chaos is a ladder. All right, so the last high point for you guys was a time that you went within. This is trying to link you back to remind you that you've done shadow work before. It's not that scary. You've been there. Oops, let me do it the right way. You've done the hermiting. You've gone within. Okay. See how she's talking to that bird? Yeah. That's the inner self. Okay? You've done this in the past. Because this is the process of shadow work. You go within. See how that bird is shining the light on what was previously shadowed? Yes. And that's, pardon you guys, I'm not even going to show you because it's the flayed man. That's scary, but ignore that, okay? The Hanged Man energy is about seeing something from a new perspective. The light comes in and you're like, oh my gosh, I see it. I have always done this thing. I have always undervalued myself in this way. I have always wanted to run and hide when I'm confronted with a certain situation. Now I'm beginning to see these pathways. And then this Knight of Cup is choosing to transmute that energy. Do you understand? Now he's purifying what's in his cup and then moving forward. So you know that you've done work like this in the past. I think Spirit wanted to come in and remind you of that. That shadow work's not that scary. You have done it before. It just gets scary when you start to call it a name, right? But you guys, this is my specialty. This is what I help people do. This is the focus of my readings, is to be able to get in there and shine the light on things. I'm that mother freaking bird, okay? Somebody decided I could be trusted with the lantern. But all I'm doing, you guys, is trying to fly around and shine your own inner light. Okay? Because remember, it's inside of you still, along with that darkness. Your inner light is still in there with you. Okay? So let's go to our self-care cards. Rest. But remember, don't just think that this is a normal nap time. This is time to do the work. Okay? Especially when it starts to feel hard or when you start to feel drained. And then also ground yourself, because that robe that she's got, sometimes it looks purple, sometimes it looks red. To me, it looks red and today. So that means don't forget to ground yourself when you can. But see how the pillow that she's on is covered with those crescent moons? That crescent moon is the symbol of the high priestess. Your initial reaction to external opposition is to go within and rest. And you have there a space that you've created, a happy space that you've created that helps you get back in to who you are. All right? This time you're being asked to go within and really move some things around. Start to look at that happy space, because here's the thing, guys. What if this space that you go to, it reflects a limited version or a limited vision of yourself? You see yourself as capable of so much more now than you were when you created this particular happy space. So the universe is trying to say, look, within the recent past, you've done work like this before. There's just some more that needs to be done at this time. On the other side of that, you guys, so much love and abundance, but also those calmer waters. All right. So rest up, take really good care of yourselves. I love you so much, Cancers. All right. Stay happy, stay healthy, stay hopeful to the best of your ability at this time. Like the video if you're still here. Thank you so much. And hit me up with the info below if you want to get a personal. Otherwise, check out your sun, moon, and rising signs and take really good care of yourselves. I will see you soon.